I'm going to give you a quick review of the basics of APA style. And this is taken from the APA publication manual, which can be bought online from Amazon.com, or that you can see an abbreviated version of this at the Purdue OWL location, which has a website link or address later in this presentation. As I prepared this presentation, each time I go through it, I find more and more mistakes I made. This is difficult APA style. You have to do the best you can, and you have to double check your work, and you're always learning something new. You're going to find me being real picky at the beginning. You'll make big mistakes, and as you get used to it, you're going to make fewer and fewer, and the mistakes will be smaller and smaller. Manuscript format. Font, Times New Roman, 12 point. Line spacing, double space, all lines. Margins, 1 inch top, bottom, right, and left. Paragraph, indent 1/2 inch or 7 spaces for the first line. Justification, do not justify. Do not hyphenate words at the end of lines. Discussions and short assignments, less than 4 pages. There is no need for an abstract. There is no need for the title page. It would be nice for you to get in the habit of doing double space, but I will not require that for the discussion posts. In-text citation examples, when there's no quotation. Anderson, in parentheses, 2013, states, prove the thesis, Anderson, comma, space, 2013. All that in parentheses with the period at the end. In 2013, comma, Anderson showed that Anderson and Anderson, 2013, state, notice the parentheses, prove the thesis, Anderson, ampersand, Anderson, comma, space, 2013, end, parentheses, period. In-text citations, where there are quotations. Anderson states, and then you have the end of the quotes. Then you have 2013, comma, space, P, period, space, 23, end of the quotation, and then the period. Prove the thesis. After the quotation, parentheses, Anderson, comma, space, 2013, comma, space, P, period, space, 24, end of parentheses, period. In 2013, Anderson states, and then go to the end, and then you have parentheses, PP, period, space, 18-19, end of parentheses, period. Reference list for books. Pay special attention to what is italicized and what is capitalized. American Psychological Association is the author here in this first one. The year of publication is 2010. And the title is Publication Manual of the American Psychological Association. American Psychological Association is a proper noun, so that should all be capitalized. Then 6th ed, 6th edition, notice the TH on the line there. Washington, D.C., city and state, even though it's technically not a state. And then author. Author here just means that the American Psychological Association is both the author and the publisher, published by the author. Hancock, D.R. We don't use first names and middle names. We use the first initial, the first letter of the middle name and the last name. And the ampersand, Algocene, V. 2011, period, doing case study research. A practical guide for beginning researchers. Only the proper nouns are capitalized except for at the beginning, which is capitalized, and the first word after the colon is capitalized. Second edition, and the ND on the second should be on the line, but my word processor keeps messing me up. New York, city and state, colon, Teachers College Press, the publisher. Reference list, book with an editor. Anderson, R.J., that's me, 1990, period. Seminario Relámpago, colon, una semana para autores escénicas. In A. Berkeley, the editor. Educación Intercultural, pages 167 to 172, Yanacocha, Peru. That's the city and the country in this case. Instituto Lingüístico de Verano is the publisher, period. Reference list, journal articles. Anderson, R.J., 1991, Implicaciones estereotípicas en los verbos estativos de la Scheninga. Revista Latinoamérica de Estudios Etnolingüísticos, Volume 6, pages 63 to 78. Notice that we don't put the P here. Notice that the edition is italicized. The page numbers are not. Notice that the journal name is capitalized just as you would normally capitalize titles. Notice that there is no capitalization and no italics in the journal article name. Anderson, R.J., 1996. Sheltered Instruction for Language Minority Populations. That's the name of the article. No capitals, except for the first word. Notes on literacy, yes, capitalized title, italicized because that's the name of the journal. The volume number is italicized. The edition number is in parentheses. It's not italicized. 48 to 49 are the pages, and you do not put the P. Online journal article. Chowning, J. 2009 Socratic Seminars in Science Class. Science Teacher, 76, 7, 36 to 41. You would put the reference and you would format it in the same way as it would if it were a regular publication, except that it's retrieved from, and you show where you got it retrieved from, you put the URL. Online newspaper article. A long time ago, a few years ago, I wrote a letter to the editor. I'm not sure of the exact date. I probably made up this date, and I might have even changed the title of this. This is a letter to the editor, but for illustrative purposes. How California school districts are named. Laredo Morning Times, retrieved from, and that gives you the URL that you would be able to find this at. It might be true. Maybe if you follow it, you'll find that. I'm not sure. Other situations. Check the Purdue OWL website, and you can also purchase from online or find it in the library, I'm sure, the manual of the publication manual of the American Psychological Association. Reference list. The first line of each reference is hanging 0.5 inches. The list must be in alphabetical order by the first author. This does not apply to the order of authors within one book or article, but it does as you go from one article or one book to another. I expect the A's on top and the Z's at the bottom. Title page. The title page is only necessary for research projects in Dr. Anderson's courses. It is not appropriate for most class assignments. The title should be less than 12 words, typed in uppercase and lowercase letters, centered, and be in the upper half of the page. Include the author's name and institutional affiliation. Your institutional affiliation is Texas A&M International University. Abstract page. The abstract is only necessary for research projects in Dr. Anderson's courses. It is not appropriate for most class assignments. The abstract should be accurate, non-evaluative, coherent and readable, and concise. I expect the abstract to be between 1/3 and 1/2 page in length.